Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Monday. Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Set Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. Today, it's Monday. We're going to start the week. We had a super nice pump over the weekend. See that? What did we get up to? 69,500. Dang. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Paul. What up, Paul? What up, Leonard? I see Ali Balugan. What up, dude? Welcome to the stream. I know you're trying to get your 1,000 sats, but the 1,000 sats giveaway is completed. It's concluded. We stopped giving away sats on the show, and I'll explain to you guys why during the Why We Stack segment, okay? All right. Let's get the show started. Let's get the show started with the Sat Strength Challenge. Sat Strength. All right, today the price of Bitcoin is $67,757.01 and 2 cents. Today you can buy 1,475 Satoshis for a single dollar. What is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents. A Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. What up, McLovin? Good to see you in here. Round of applause from the live studio audience for McLovin. So, don't look at the price of $67,762.14 and get scared and say you think you can't afford that. You can afford fractions of a Bitcoin, okay? The Satoshis. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business, look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day you'll have 14 Satoshis for a single penny. It's pretty good. Round of applause from the live studio audience for, I already got Paul. For Paul anyway, again. I saw Paul jump in. All right. So, that means that. What's up, Carlos? Carlos Jaramillo in the house. Beat DCA to beat TC. The crowd goes wild. Yes. So let's talk about why we stopped doing the giveaway, okay? And it'll lead into what we're going to talk about anyway, okay? So there it is. Here we go. Why we stack. Why I stack anyway. You might have different reasons for stacking. So we the purpose of this whole show. What's up, Hard Huddle? Good to see you in here. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Hard Huddle. The purpose of this whole show is to try to illustrate and demonstrate how important it is to stack as many Satoshis as you can to accumulate as much Bitcoin as you can, because it's the scarcest thing you can own. Okay, we've made we've referred to the Coinbase block reward for mining a block in 2134 goes to 1 Satoshi. Okay, whereas right now the mining reward is 3.125 Bitcoin. So in 100 years, the value of 1 Satoshi will be equivalent to 3.125 Bitcoin today, maybe even more, right? That's how scarce it's going to be. Okay? So how can I sit here and tell you that it's the scarcest thing you can own and you should be investing your money into it? Well, I'm not telling you that. I'm saying that's what I'm doing. I'm investing in the most scarce thing I can own because even a single Satoshi is scarce, right? There cannot be 1 Satoshi above 21 million Bitcoin, okay? So it's fixed. So therefore, if Bitcoin is scarce and limited, so is every single Satoshi, okay? How can it's a conflict of that idea to give away 1,000 Satoshis to new subscribers like I did at the beginning of the show, right? Because on one hand, I'm telling you it's the scarcest thing you can own, and on the other hand, I'm giving it away like as if it's nothing, right? I'm giving it away like I would give away, I don't know, I don't even give away that many shirts on the show, right? Maybe I should give away shirts. Let's do giveaways for shirts. But it's it basically torpedoes the whole idea of that we're trying to get across, that a Bitcoin or a Satoshis is the most scarce thing you can own. Okay, so that's why we don't do giveaways anymore. I'm trying to get your name right, Ali Balogan. That's why we don't do giveaways anymore. But feel free to hang out, and you're welcome to hang in the chat and learn about Bitcoin. If you already know a lot about Bitcoin, then you're welcome to help others understand Bitcoin and why you should be trying to accumulate as much of it as possible. We just don't do any kind of poop coins, yield products, or trading groups, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we're just strictly Bitcoin. We buy it, we take custody, and we repeat that. Okay, so to wrap up the why we stack segment, let's go with our foundational statement, which is the Bitcoin savings elevator pitch. Why should you save in Bitcoin? Well, because saving in Bitcoin is like going back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. And that goes for every single Satoshi. Okay. Anyway, so that is the why we stack segment. Okay. Now we're gonna take a couple of minutes in the middle of the show before we jump into the SAT recap or stack recap, and actually buy Bitcoin today to just check on you guys. How are you guys doing? Are you guys did you guys do the fun stuff you had planned this weekend? This last weekend? I hope you guys were able to get your stuff done. I hope you guys were able to get your do the things you wanted to do. I had a pretty good weekend. Busy. Rode the Grom around for like 130 miles, was it? That was yeah. It's Grom abuse right there. I rode the Grom for 132 miles. And we'll look at this, how much we stacked in the stack recap. But I found this road, or I met some people, and we went riding, and we found this road that's like so nice. It's a whole bunch of roads here in San Diego that I didn't know were around, because most of the stuff I do is near the coast. I fish, I kayak fish, and I boogie board, I dive. Right, I don't do a lot of stuff inland, so I was able to do some exploring inland on the Grom, and I rode my bike almost to the border. Rode the Grom almost to the border. And it was super cool. It was fun. So it was a good weekend for me. It was a good weekend. My kids have their jiu-jitsu private lesson. And when they have their private lesson, I'm watching too. So it's like I'm getting an extra. I'm watching too. I'm learning as they get taught. So it's kind of like a 3 for 1 or 3 for 2. But anyway, that's a status update. Hope everybody had the opportunity to do what they wanted to do this weekend. And if not, then plan it out for next weekend. This week, actually, I got invited on a boat, and I will be out. Let's see. Where's my calendar? There will be no StackSat show the 23rd, the 24th, or the 25th. I'm taking 3 days off. Okay, I'll be out on the high seas, trying to catch tuna, yellowtail, big dogs, the big fish. So, no show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But if I still have cell reception, I'll stack those days remotely. Okay. What up, Leonard? Round of applause from the live studio for Leonard. Oops. You. I'm going to Submission at Sea, Leonard. Are you going to that? I got the invite, so I have to go. And you know, I like fishing, guys, but I don't like fishing that much. Where I'm on a boat, chilling. It's got a full galley, and they got like food, burgers. They probably have like really good dinners and really good lunches and really good breakfasts. When I'm on a boat like that, I mostly just lounge around and eat and read. And then when I hear the commotion of people getting bit and there's a bunch of people catching fish, then and only then will I go out, get my rod off the rack, pin a sardine on it or pin a mackerel on it, and cast it to catch my fish, and then get back to what I was doing. My little brother graduated the Marines in San Diego. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, this is the place where they mint Marines. Right here, dude. This is the place where they get into basic training. Okay. Hard huddle. I'm gonna tell you something. Next time you're around your brother, what's up, Bitcoin Beacon? Good to see you. Round of applause from a live studio audience for Bitcoin Beacon. Hard huddle. Next time you're around your brother, and there's a jet, like it could be like a passenger jet, flying overhead, where it's loud enough that you can't hear what you're saying to each other, right? Or it just doesn't make sense to communicate at that point because it's so loud. Next time there's a jet flying overhead, and your brother's with you, I want you to look at that jet and say, "Blast it out of the sky," like that, okay? And then it'll remind him of his basic training, because from what I hear, one of my best friends told me that in basic training, they want to keep them so busy and just like and engaged that even when a jet is flying overhead, and there's a lot of jets that fly overhead in that area, they will tell the recruits or whatever to blast it out of the sky, and the recruits have to yell at the jet flying over, right? So that way that even though you don't have to even though you can't communicate more detailed instructions, you do get them to do something while the jet's flying over, instead of wasting that time. So it's pretty cool. And so whenever I know somebody's got basic training and I see like the jet flying overhead, I'll be like, "Blast down this guy." Anyway, that was a total random story, but I think he'd get a kick out of it. Okay. All right, let's get back to the regular show, guys. You guys know that I love to like talk based off of what happens in the chat. So if you have anything you want to comment on, I'm going to make a comment about, put it in the chat. If you want anything special you want to share about what you did this weekend, put it in the chat as well. Okay. All right. So unpopular opinion here, boot camp. It's a little brainwash. It is. But when you're making soldiers, it's not about soldiers questioning orders. It's about soldiers following orders, right? So the ethics of it are weird, but it serves a purpose, right? And that is the purpose, to make a fighting warrior, right? Anyway, let's keep it rolling. Okay, so now that we know, actually we don't know, we need to find out how much Bitcoin we're going to buy today, guys. Let's figure that out right now during the stack recap. Okay, today the price of Bitcoin is $67,844. Our average buy price for 2024 is $60,286. So today we'll be buying $20 worth of Bitcoin live during the show in just a little bit. So stay tuned, hang in there. We started stacking sats way back in the day. Just kidding. About a year and a half ago, 5/22/23, and our stack is up about 50.67% since the beginning of our show. It's pretty dang awesome. And let's check into our sats per good chart since we're here. Oh, we're still not at 60. Come on. We probably got to 60 earlier, but then it came back down. So I want to get to 60% off since October 23. All right. Let's keep it going. We've also, the things that have sold, they're mostly in the green except for these gloves that I bought when Bitcoin was at 67.9. And Bitcoin is at what right now? 67.8. Ha! So it's getting close. It's almost at positive. What's going on here? Is that right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's almost at positive, but we'll see. What else do we have here? 100 days of stacking. Are we in the positive? Oh, let's go! 100 days of stacking, finally up 0.9%. And that is rad. That is rad. What is 100 days of stacking? I bought Bitcoin for 100 days straight. Okay? Straight stack after stack. And we bought when the Bitcoin's kind of high. So we've been negative for a while, but now we're finally positive. Woohoo! All right, and then lastly, I bought a motorcycle, a Honda Grom, that gives me about 110, 120 miles per hour. Sorry, 120 miles per gallon. No, per gallon or per tank. No, per gallon. And it's saving me 21 cents per mile for each mile commuted because I don't have to take my truck, which is a gas guzzler. It's a V8. The last of the V8s, by the way. And so we've been taking that money and stacking it. Whenever we put miles on the Grom, we take those mileage, we multiply it by 0.21, and we get the amount of fiat that we're gonna spend on Bitcoin. This weekend I put 132 miles on the Grom. I went and met some friends to do some riding drills. We did emergency braking. We did like weaving back and forth with sharp turns and crazy angles and U-turns, and I feel my riding getting better. And then after that, I met a new group of friends, a new group of Grom friends down the road from there, and we did a crazy loop around these mountainous roads that go by a lake, and they're just like the Grom tops out at like about, I don't know, let's say 70, 73. And these roads are all like twisty. There's good visibility. The weather was great. It was dry. It was sunny. And the road speed is like 50 miles per hour. So like it's like designed. It seems like it's like designed for the Grom. You're not going too fast because you can't go any faster than that. And the road is like wide enough for the Grom, because any road is wide enough for the Grom. So you can pick different lines while you're quote unquote carving. Anyway, it was fun riding the Grom around. I rode it for like 132 miles, like I said, so it was pretty fun. Oh, let me scroll this down. There it is. And at the price of Bitcoin, when I got home that day, it was $69,269. I bought, dude, $27.72 to put away the savings for the 132 miles. Okay, so far the Grom, we've taken off about 50 miles to the break even, because we're saving that savings into Bitcoin, and that savings is growing. So now instead of having to ride 26,288 miles, we just have to ride 26,231 miles. And as the price of Bitcoin continues to go up, we'll have to ride less and less miles to hit this mark to be even. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that my 855 miles on the Grom getting near to 1,000. It's pretty wild. What up, Andrew? Good to see you. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Andrew. Also, Bitcoin Beacon. What up? Okay, so that is the stack recap. And now that we know that $20 is what we're going to buy today, there's only one thing left to do, boys. I think it's time. It's time to stack some suds. Today on the Stack Sats show, we're going to stack $20 worth of Bitcoin. Why? Because we can, and because we should, because it's the scarcest thing you can own, and it's on discount, right? You should have bought Bitcoin at under 100,000, but you didn't. $20. Next. Raise or confirm? Cut the music. Drum roll, please. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin today for the Stack Sats show. And there it is. Just like that. 29,158 Satoshis. Oh, my phone hit the wrong button. Satoshis. Okay. There it is in the browser. We're going back to add the information for these buys. 10,000, sorry, 10,000. 10, 21, 24. We bought at the price of 67,904 and 19 cents. $20 worth. 0.00029,158. Okay, there it is. Let's go to the full stack. Jeez. Okay, the grand total for the show now today, October 21st, 2024 is 0.3053565 Bitcoin. Yes. Slow and steady wins the race. What race are you talking about? We're talking about the race of getting wealthy, right? What was my thumbnail? It was like the Bitcoin engine, the engine of wealth. The wealth engine. Okay. You put some input into the engine. Your input is the savings. You're storing value in that engine, and that engine is actually spinning up and creating more value with the value you're putting in. It's pretty wild. Okay. So that is the Stack Sats show in a nutshell. We're going to move it on to the Q&A section. If you have any questions, any comments, put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Should we do some goal setting? Is there any app or website you recommend for stacking and earning sats? No, not really. I don't use any, but I know that there's some apps you can round up. I think it's Cash App, isn't it? Like if you spend $1.50, it'll just charge you the $1 and take the extra 50 cents and put it and buy Bitcoin for you. It's not, they're not giving it to you, but it's making it easier for you to stack more sats, I guess. Another, sometimes people do like Twitter giveaways, like lightning stuff. I mean, I don't know, it's not guaranteed. Probably the best way that I would recommend to stack sats daily because look, these companies are giving you sats in exchange for your time. Right, in exchange for your time, but yeah, sats are valuable. But do you want to get paid like 10 sats, 20 sats, 30 sats, 40 sats for like 10, 15 minutes of your time? Yeah, we go back to that whole conversation of, yeah, sats are going to be the most scarce thing, right? But just take $1, buy 1,400 Satoshis, And it's way better than spending 15 minutes to earn 20 sats, dude. Right? Right? Do you know what I mean? Just, it's not the best use of your time to play these little apps. They're going to pay you in Satoshis or whatever, Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense. Okay? If you spend like an hour on this game to quote unquote earn stats and you make like 50 Satoshis or 100 Satoshis, right? That's less than 10 cents. Less than 10 cents a dollar. Less than 10 cents an hour. Okay? All these little things, you gotta put your laser eyes on, okay? All the things that you do in life, you have to weigh them against the opportunity cost of not getting more Bitcoin, okay? If you're truly gonna be laser-eyed about this, okay? So, does going out to eat lunch instead of cooking at home, is that worth more? Is that a good value exchange? It's probably better for you to go get groceries and make the food yourself, right? But if you have a really high paying side gig where your hours better spent making the thing that you're getting paid to make as opposed to cooking, then it makes sense to have somebody cook for you and just go out and eat, right? Because your time is better spent. It's making you more value by doing the task, the skill that you have already set up, right? So same thing with other things. Does it make sense to spend your time binge watching Game of Thrones or insert whatever series you want to put in there, right? You spent 30 hours watching 30 episodes of a show that didn't do anything for you except for like maybe give you anxiety and lust for that lifestyle maybe, or put ideas into your mind that are not very healthy and maybe even haunt you when you're sleeping, right? So it could like damage your psyche, right? When you could have spent those 30 hours learning something that will make you more hireable, make you more able to produce something to gain value that way, right? So even if you just took the 30 hours and you worked a part-time job instead of watching those Netflix shows, right? You stack that and you're making more sats for those hours, right? I listen to a podcast and get sats. Okay, tell me about that, Carlos. That's a pretty good. I can get with that one. I can see that because you're gonna listen to a podcast anyway. You're gonna get a little bit. You're learning something, and it's something you're gonna do anyway. Why not get the sats? That sounds reasonable. Can you let us know what it is? Andrew says it depends on how easily you can get your Bitcoin. What are the on-ramps like in your country? Yep. If there is no on-ramps available, then the little game could make sense. It's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, a little game could make sense, but still, not to that extent, right? Not to that extent, because you still have to consider that your time on this earth is more expensive than even Bitcoin, right? To each individual. Maybe when you're super young, it doesn't seem like it's that valuable, but when you're getting older, it seems more valuable, right? So, anyway, we have less time than Bitcoin has. Bitcoin is going to exist beyond us, right? So, I don't know. I just default back to the idea of thinking of things in terms of energy, right? Could that energy be better used to stack harder? And if it can, use it to stack harder that way. And then, it just seems like an inefficient way to stack would be to play games to stack. Even though you are getting some sats and it's not on ramped or whatever, it's still inefficient, right? I could pay you to to watch my show pay you a sat per minute, or like a sat an hour, or a sat per minute. Okay, I'll give you 1 sat per minute, and you can watch the show for 30 minutes. I'll give you 30 sats at the end of the show, right? But I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard concept. Because in this case, you'd be watching the show anyway, right? I don't know. I just really have an issue with like those attention farming games, or like where like you're breaking little blocks and like aligning colors and breaking things, and you need to get power up to get different bonuses, and this stuff happening on the screen. It's kind of like I don't let my kids play those kind of games, and I watch people like at the shopping, like at the line, or like in waiting rooms just around town. I watch like parents like on those things all the time. I'm like, dang. It's like anyway. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. If you price your sats and what it's worth now, it may not be worth it. Yep. But if you think about that, what it might be worth, yes. Especially if there is no other way to get sats for cash. True. But I don't know. Maybe I'm bullish right here, right? Is we'll say 100 satoshis. Is 100 satoshis gonna be worth an hour of your life in 20 years? In 10 years, right? What would the price of Bitcoin have to be for 100 satoshis to be significant, right? Life changing, right? Like we probably won't be around by then. So yes, it will eventually go up and be worth a lot more, but not for you and me. We'll be long gone, right? We'll be long gone. I don't know. It's just inefficient it's just inefficient to yeah. So how do you get around the not being able to on ramp? But you don't even need an on ramp to buy Bitcoin. Honestly, you have Bitcoin meetups, right? And yeah, maybe that there you can do remote work over the internet and get paid in Bitcoin. Like nobody's gonna know. You can meet people in person that have Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin for cash. And just sit around, hang out for like 20 minutes for the transactions to clear and know that your Bitcoin is there, and then boom, you're done. Right? Anyway, I just don't buy that. But if you are watching like a show or like a podcast that I don't know, it's hard. I guess I don't put that much value on entertainment shows. I don't know. It's an interesting concept to think about for sure. I'll probably dwell on it later today. See, we tend to look at things from a first world perspective. Yes, for a third world point of view, things look very different. That's true. That's true, but yeah, I'm not familiar with the on ramps and off ramps in other countries. Everyone must take their own decisions based on what is happening in their own lives. That's very true. It's very true. Yeah, if you could, yeah, I guess that caveat does kind of hit a snag, right? Where if you don't have the ability to buy it, I guess playing games to get it is better. So this is what I would do. If I didn't have the ability to buy Bitcoin in a country, right, where it was, for a reason they didn't have any on-ramps, I would just buy mining equipment You know, buy a little Apollo BTC. You know, 3 terahash, 5 terahash, right? And then that thing will give you like 200, 300 satoshis a day. If you're running at constant power, it's like 200 watts. So it's not even that much power. Nobody will notice it. Your refrigerator probably burns more electricity than that. And your computer probably burns more electricity to that, like a high-powered gaming PC does. And you'll be getting constant satoshis, right? So would it make more sense to spend who knows how long playing a game to earn 200 satoshis, or take the hours that you would spend on the game to earn 200 satoshis, get an extra side gig, do another extra job, and get a little miner, and now the miner is going to be working for you every day. You're going to get 200 satoshis no matter what, right? I remember a Bitcoin faucet giving away full Bitcoins. Wow. It was empty when I got to there. Wow, that's crazy. McLeod says, my brother told me he remembers when companies were actually giving away whole Bitcoins as a promo offer to try something. Dang, dude. That's wild. It's pretty crazy. And that sounds like it's like it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago, right? Oh, companies used to give away whole Bitcoins. That was like probably 10 years ago, even less than that. For a company to give away one whole Bitcoin, something happening today. Scale changes as BTC appreciates is all. Yep, that was around 2011. See, 2011, 12 years ago. Dang, that's crazy. I wish we could call miners proof of work machines. Yeah, proof of work machines. People keep asking why I have miners in the basement. And you say, those aren't miners. Those are proof of work machines. Those are proof of work computers. Yeah. Anyway, boys. Interesting conversation today. That's pretty cool. Did Carlos say what app he uses to get sats when he listens to podcasts? I listen to podcasts and get sats. Where is it? Andrew's right. Okay. Let me know if that's in the US. Let's do it. That sounds good. Am I the only one who dismissed Bitcoin as a fad? I did. I thought it was criminal money, McLovin. I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't want to be associated with it at all. I was like, that's what criminals use to buy random stuff. You know? Cool. That's true. It is a rite of passage. All right, boys. Let's kick on the track that signals the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ali Balogun. Ali Balogun, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna get your name right. Ali Balogun. Thanks for tuning in. Round of applause for Leonard. Andrew, good night, Andrew. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good night's rest. McLovin in the house. Thanks for tuning in, dude. I appreciate all your commentary. Also, you too, Mr. Hard Huddle. And to Carlos Aramillo, of course, the legend himself. And Bitcoin Beacon, thanks for tuning in today. Hope all is well. And of course, last but not least, the first guy in the chat, Paul. Thanks for tuning in, Paul. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Stat Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking.